Welcome back. Super excited moving forward. In this lesson, I'm going to demonstrate how to actually customize your themes, right? Or maybe you want to change your color for your particular app that you're developing. So in this particular design phase, of course, before we actually get into the Java development and other areas, it's always nice to have the responsive design for your app. So here I'm just going to demonstrate some of the tools and techniques that are available to us as developers where you can go about and then start customize your app environment. So first things first, if you were to navigate within your resource folder, because we learned in our last lesson that it's not wise to do hard coding, right? So you want to work with your resource folder. One of the folders under your resource folder is called drawable, okay? So within the drawable folder, of course, I do not have anything at this point, but this is where you'll all keep your images. Whereas in the values folder, you have 3 XML files, colors, strings, and style. And if you open them up, you'll see colors, and the 3 primary colors are provided along with the color code. So you can look this up within the palette, okay? And this is a homework, by the way, so you can search for the number or numeric values here or the hexa values for your color code. Same thing with all these colors. You can always change it from here as well by clicking on the color icon, and then of course change the color to whatever it is that you wish to use. If you know the color code, you can directly input the color code here, or if you change from RGB to ARGB. So these are just standard red, green, blue colors. Similarly, the styles.xml gives you the theme, which is the dark action bar, because we're using the action bar instead of the no action bar, right? So you can always change the themes by going to project settings and this reflect here, or you can change it here as well. But in this instance, the item names are, once again, are the primary color, the primary dark color, and then your accent. The third XML is the strings XML, which is of course your global name or the name of the app that you're using, which shows up in the top menu bar and also on in the middle text as well. All right, so how do we go about actually making sure and then changing our colors? So I could of course change it here, and this is going to reflect on my app, but I want to show you a nice site. It's called material.io. Let me pull that up. In fact, here it is. So just navigate to material.io. It's a wonderful site, and this is where you can design, develop, and take a look at different tools that it provides you. So I'm going to let you explore preliminary, but specifically what I want to show you here is what this does, by the way, before I demonstrate. You can use and make pretty neat products pretty fast. So it's basically a design system which is backed by open source, which helps teams build digital experiences. So if you're designing for developing something for Android, iOS, web, do so. So again, you can explore and take a look at some of the details here, but let's get into more specifics. What I want to show you here. So let me go ahead and click on Tools. So once I click on Tools, if I scroll down just a little bit here, notice I'll find a section called Color Tool, which creates and shares your color palette for your user interface design. And it measures the accessibility of any color combination. So the neat part here is that you can take a look at your app design and then provide the color combination. Remember the primary color, the accent colors, and so forth. So let me go ahead and click on Color Tool, and this will navigate us to a page where now we can actually use combinations of colors. So for instance, if I click on this, it shows me the actual screen of my Android phone. Well, pretty much, right? So I can see the activity pane, some views, and so forth. So I can simply pick a color. So I'm going to got it here. And then from the material palette here, notice several colors are available. I can, of course, do the custom as well. So for instance, if I were to click on the red 50, notice it kind of displays the theme for me. And I can navigate to versions of how this is going to look like as I develop my various activities or screens on my app. So the images are going to look like this, the bar is going to look like this. Again, just a color combination, right? So it's pretty neat, pretty powerful. Same thing, I can continue on with my menus as well. If I were to choose a different color, it changes the color combination. Similarly, I can go left and right and kind of take a look at how it looks like as I'm developing my apps and menus. So I'm going to use blue, for instance, or you can use light blue, anything that you like. And the way you want to use this is you can simply select the color combination that you like. For example, if you wish to like or select this particular light blue combination, you can simply export it. And what this will do is export into an XML file. So that rings a bell, right? So once you have the XML file, of course, you'll have the color codes that you can integrate within your own Android Studio. So let's first, before I actually pick this, by the way, I'm going to also go ahead and change the background of my first page or activity. So I have several backgrounds stored on my computer. You can, of course, create your own backgrounds. You can use images as backgrounds and so forth. So here's an image, and the standard size of this is, if I were to give you the file info here, is 480 by 100. That's the high definition, right, or high density image that you can use. There are other varieties of images like extra high or extra high density, right? So it's XX, HD, and XHD, and just HD. So that's where, again, it's up to you what you want to use. But typically 480 by 800 is the background image that you want to use. And I'm going to demonstrate that as well. So maybe in this lesson or maybe next, let's see how it works. But I want to show you the idea, or the objective here is to take a look at your color combinations and of course your background images, because you want a constant or consistent branding, right, for your app. You just don't want to use random colors. So for instance, if I'm using this image, maybe I want to use black, or if I have other images, you can use other images as well. So I'm going to go ahead and show you a custom designed image. You can use this, but of course it doesn't match up with blue, or maybe it does. So again, it's up to you. I'll leave that to you. You're the best judge of what your app you're developing. Here's a simple plain background that kind of goes nice with this, at least in my humble opinion. And then I've also designed a custom image of the same size, 480 by 800. So if I were to use this with this particular color combination, that's fine. I can always make this a little darker. Just kind of see how it kind of looks and reflects with my app. Maybe this looks even better. So either way, once you select the color combination, you can export it. So I'm going to go ahead and export this, and then it gives you three options: Android, iOS, or CodePen. So of course we are going to select Android, and this is going to give me the Windows Explorer where I can save it. So I'm going to go ahead and say and call this color 4.xml. You can name it anything, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and say color 4 at this point. I'm going to download the XML file. So once you've downloaded the color, of course you can change it, right? If you were to select different colors, that's fine. And again, based on your own app requirements, you can pick the color combination. If you have custom color codes, you can always use them here. If you don't like any of these, you can of course change it to your own color combination. So it's pretty powerful, pretty neat. Okay, excellent tool that you want to use, and gives you other areas as well. Again, this is just one part of material.io that I've demonstrated. But if you're getting into more in-depth into designing, feel free, and of course, let me assign you homework, right? Homeworks are good. So yeah, go ahead and explore the site. If you have any questions, post in the discussion area, and that's the best way to learn. Perfect. So once we have downloaded the XML file, let's go back to Android Studio here. Now all you have to do is, of course, take our XML file and bring it here. That's the objective. But before I do it, let's take a look at the colors.xml. So the colors.xml file contains, of course, three primary colors. Let's go ahead and bring our saved file. Several ways you can do it, of course. You can drag and drop, you can paste within the values folder, you can navigate to the folder level and then copy and paste and so forth. So the easiest way is, let me bring up my Windows Explorer and just navigate to the file that I just downloaded called colors4.xml. I'm going to go ahead and simply drag it to the value folder. And this is just a simple move. Android just asks me, this is the directory where I want to move this, and of course, and I'm going to open the file once it's in the editor. So click OK. The non-project file detection dialog box appears, and this is just so that you're not actually changing the existing files, right? So it's just an added protection step. So I'm going to say I want to edit all files in this particular directory. So click OK, and this is going to go ahead and open up colors4.xml with the 4 primary colors. Okay. Now, if I compare this colors4.xml to the colors.xml, notice there's a difference, right? I have one additional color name, which is the primary text color, but I only need 3 at this point. Okay. Once we get later, I'm going to demonstrate this, but I'm going to delete this for now. And at this point, I have the primary color dark, the light color, and the dark color. Whereas in the color XML, I have the color primary dark, and the color accent. Okay. So once again, these are important because if you were to change these names and just use this file, Android Studio, the Gradle is not going to build. Okay, it's not going to find the same names. So the easiest thing is, of course, use the color. Just simply copy the color here and then paste it on your actual colors.xml. Again, you can do it other ways as well. There's several other ways you can do it. So I'm just going to quickly do this. Go ahead and simply paste this, and of course my accent color would be something like this. Great. So all I've done is simply these values. So if you do not want to go through this entire process and you know the hex codes, feel free to go directly and edit the color codes. So now you have the colors.xml. Let's go to our activity name and see what happens. And perfect. We have our color codes changed on our menu bar and our top bar. So anything from here on out, of course, we are going to use this particular. And let's see if this is reflective within the emulator as well. So let me go ahead and open up the emulator. Of course, I need to first save changes, right? Or apply the changes. And as soon as I apply, the Gradle is going to build as usual because I've just changed some settings within my colors.xml file. So let's go ahead and see once the Gradle is built. Take a few seconds, sometimes depends on the speed of your processor, right? And then it's going to show up right here. And here it is. Perfect. So moving right along. I hope you guys are doing a great job. Just practice with all of this, understand the concepts, see them apply. And of course, if you do it several times, right? So as a homework, go ahead and use different color combinations from material.io and then just kind of see the type of app that you want to develop and then how it looks. So great job, guys. With this, let's move to the next lesson.